Hi guys, how are you all today morning? Good morning. Today is 30th May 2023. My name is TSV Raghavan and I live in Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India. This is my spiritual vlog on YouTube. Haribol TRSV Nectar NECTAR Nectar. In this particular vlog and all my previous videos, we have been discussing about the knowledge and information that we have gleaned through the study of spiritual books, scriptures, contemplation on the material universe, and meditation on the spiritual universe. This particular video is no exception to that rule. In fact, it is a mere continuation of what we have been doing in all my previous videos in this vlog. Kindly subscribe to this vlog and press the bell icon so that I may keep reminding you of all my other videos. Let us return to the topic of today. For the past few videos, we have been discussing about how a living entity, whether male or female, can get into a mental cave of his or her own and through his or her third eye that is situated between his or her two eyebrows, look within himself or herself to find an entire universe and to live there blissfully and with a lot of peace and divine devotion. Here we have discussed about how a spirit spark becomes a spirit soul, is enveloped by the material body's material universe, four layers of material body, and in my yesterday's video we discussed about the fourth layer, that is the gross body. Today we shall discuss about the first three layers, which are subtle and they are known as causal body of intelligence and logic, astral body of mind with feelings and emotions, and the etheric body of five senses, that is sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. These three subtle bodies are made up of ether, but they differ in the refinement and quality of ether of each body. In other words, the causal body, which forms the first layer, is the most refined of the three and is actually an answer of the material universe to the spirit soul. It is qualitatively as subtle as the soul itself, or the material universe can make it as subtle as the soul itself. The second astral body of mind is lesser subtle, but it is subtle enough to be more refined than the third layer of etheric senses. This astral body of mind, feelings, and emotions gives birth to just them plus platonic love, devotion, saintliness, love, etc. Those things which can be felt by a living entity through his or her heart. Here, emotion rules the world, and emotion is above the etheric senses. The etheric senses are five as mentioned before, and the etheric body of senses is closest to the gross body. We already know that this gross body is serving two purposes. First, the living entity is identified in the material world through its gross body, and second, this gross body is just a mere tool of the three subtle bodies behind which are closer to the soul. The vibrations from the etheric body of senses, astral body of mind, and causal body of intelligence and logic are the basis for the actions and reactions of this gross body. Usually, it is a permutation and combination of these three subtle bodies' vibrations that makes this gross body react or act. It depends entirely on the karma, destiny, nature, experience, education, and maturity of the living entity, whether male or female. This permutation and combination of the vibrations of the three bodies is different in every living entity. In 50% of the cases, it is the vibrations from the etheric senses that rule the roost of living entities population, whether they are male or female. 40% of the society, multitude, or humanity has its permutation and combination dependent on the astral body of mind. Only 10% have the permutation and combination having more of vibrations from the causal body of intelligence and logic which are superior to the vibrations from the astral body of mind and etheric body of senses. Scientists, intellectuals, discoverers, teachers, professors, researchers, saints, monks, rishis, maharishis, etc., those who work with their mind and their subtle intelligence depend on this form of vib- vibration or permutation of vibrations. In their cases, the causal body of intelligence and its vibrations rule their whole entire psyche, whereas 40% of multitude prefers the astral body of mind and its vibrations over the vibrations of either the etheric senses or the causal internals. However, 50% of the base of the multitude depends almost entirely on vibrations from its etheric body of senses. We would appreciate that most of us actually answer to the vibrations of our own senses while acting or reacting in this particular society. It takes only a superior kind of intelligence to think logically and a superior kind of mind power to think about platonic love. In fact, this society is such that it sneers and jeers at those who claim to have a platonic type of love towards some person living or dead, male or female, except when that platonic love is for either very elderly, parental, relative type, or very tiny children. Platonic love from parents towards children, between siblings, and between friends, etc., is considered or tolerable by this particular society, whereas on an average, this society prefers to believe that you get attracted towards an object or a person just because of your etheric senses. As mentioned before, there are five senses: sight, hearing, smell, taste, and touch. To answer to these five senses, there are five sense organs in the gross body. They are two eyes for sight, two ears for hearing, two nostrils for breathing, one tongue for taste, and the entire skin plus the genitals for touch. These, these sense organs are titillated by those etheric senses from the etheric body of senses, and that results in the action or reaction in the gross body. All of us who want to evolve in this world must try to come out of the vibrations of the etheric senses more and more and proceed towards the platonic love of astral mind, of emotions and feelings. Once we are safely ensconced in this astral body of mind, we may remain there for some time before proceeding further towards the causal body of intelligence and logic. This would make us more evolved and intelligent, wise, etc. Once we do that, we may take our own sweet time to remain in this causal body of intelligence and logic and come out as intellectuals ourselves in any field of our own choice. This field may be material or spiritual. However, in the spiritual side, as long as we are in the material body, we have the right to get self realized. It is our knowing what our true identity is. After dwelling in this particular position or posture for some births as a self realized soul, we may aim at liberation from repeated births and deaths from this material world permanently so that we become the spirit soul that we were once again. Here, the only difference is that particular spirit soul was attracted towards the material universe, but this self realized spirit soul has seen it all and has become more and more evolved and devotional towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Once we get liberated in such a way, we may remain as a soul in the ether for some time before getting delivered into the Supreme Personality of Godhead permanently. Once we do that, it is just up to us whether to take a birth or not in the material world, and that too only to serve God's purpose. Great God-men, saints, religious leaders, etc., belong to that category. They came here only as a partial incarnation of God, and they lived here to only serve their purpose as an incarnation of God, a partial incarnation of God. And as soon as their purpose in this material world was over, they went back to their heavenly abode and went back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is the aim which we should have in mind before trying to get spiritually evolved for our own good. Let us all not forget that we were once a spirit spark which is qualitatively a part of God's spiritual and superior energy. Let us become that once again, and let us cleanse ourselves of all the material vibrations and qualities and problems of this material universe. Kindly let me know what is your opinion, thought, views, and ideas about this particular theory of mine. Please give me all your opinions, etc., so that I may blend them all together with my own for the sake and benefit of this society. Before concluding, let me remind you that I am also a published author with Amazon Kindle and paperback. I write on spiritualism, fiction, and assorted subjects. spiritualism happens to be my favorite subject. Till we meet in my next video, it is good morning from TSV Raghavan.